Greetings, Internet. Welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. This is going to be episode 12 of my playthrough of Into the Woods, the Battle of Shiloh by GMT Games. And it's going to be the last episode for this very first turn, the 6 a.m. turn. I intended there's just one division still to go, which is Withers. And then there's the end of turn stuff, such as Corps and Army Commanders moving and so on. So that's what I'm going to intend to do this episode, and obviously have a little bit of a wrap chat for it. And then we'll be moving on to 7 a.m., but that won't be for a while. Anyway, so there are effectively two brigades to move, and I've got to think about Gladden, keeping him under command with Withers. Withers, though, does have a decent command range of 8. And remember, all these guys are going to be going behind Ruggles and to the side. So, yeah, to carry on the assault towards McDowell over at Ben Howell Field. So, yeah, that's the plan. And we will move, with that in mind, Jackson first. Yeah, okay. So let's change their facing. Make sure I use the right key. There we go. 1.5, 3, 4.5. I should have actually just remained the same facing, shouldn't I? Okay. Lesson learned. 6. 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. And right, so Jackson himself. Okay, we don't want to move. I might as well remove the A2. We know it's the last activation. We want to keep them. It's the Withers situation. Now, Withers got command range of 8, so that's 4 hexes through this. So Withers. So if we put Jackson here, he's only got a command range of 3, but that puts him adjacent. So that's 2 command points there, and then because these are all adjacent to each other, the command can go through. So that will be Jackson's position. His guns are way over here. I think they need to stay on the road or trail or farm path. I'll get it right. Well, farm lane. There we go. Farm lane. So let's change their facing. And they can go on this here, 1.5 per hex. 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. To go there will be 3, so they might as well stay there. So they're going to be out of command of Jackson, but again, that can't. I mean, Jackson only got command range of 3, so he's either going to be there or there, which is still, either way, it's out of command range of his artillery. So, yeah, it is what it is. So that's Jackson done. Moving on to Chalmers. And again, I'm sort of envisaging these guys moving towards the end of the line here. So, or, yeah. Okay. 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. Just getting up to the front, really. 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. The cavalry is 2 per hex. That's 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Chalmers himself. We'll see where he goes. Oh, and his artillery. That's 1, 2.5, 4, 5, 6 effectively. Don't really want it stacked. So we've got artillery moving along the road. Now, where did we put Jackson there? So I'll get rid of the A2. Chalmers. Let's put him on the road there. Okay. And Withers, was there a unit under there? Ah, right, let's move that one. 1.5, 2, 3.5. Sorry, 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. Okay. So Withers has got to be within command range of Gladden. He's got a command range of 8. So that's fine. So let's move him to there, to there, to there. So he's in the range of Jackson because it's 2, 4, 6. He's in range of Gladden, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or straight through the field. So I think we're okay. Yeah, that's the end of Withers. Which then, let's just bring it up if we can. No, we need the kepi. Draw pull, there it is. And the Confederate order of battle. There it is. So Withers comes off here. We are now done with that part of the sequence. So let's bring up the sequence of play, which is here. All right, so we're actually done the activation segment. Don't know why it's coming up with that statement. There we go. So we're into the end of turn segment. Commander movement phase. So that's your corps commanders and your army commanders. Now they've got 40 movement points, but if they move more than 10, it restricts what they can do in the next turn, such as initiative, though we know that you Confederates have initiative for the first 2 turns anyway. So I can close these. We don't need these now until next turn. But, so we've got Polk, Bragg, Hardy, and under here we've got Johnson and Beauregard. Now Johnson's got some special rules, which I'll go through as and when we need to, because Johnson and Beauregard are both, and if I'm bastardizing the names, I do apologize, but they do have, well, Beauregard helps on the initiative roll, not important on the first turn. Johnson has 4 things he can do that are quite special, but it does put him at risk, and he's got to be close to the front. So moving, therefore, as I say, if they move more than 10 movement points, it restricts what they do next turn. And they're using the leader movement rate. So Hardy, 3rd Corps, we need him to be within, where is Hindman? I've lost Hindman. Got Claiborne, Shaver. Hindman's over here. Okay, so we need Hardy to be within 7 command movement points of him. And we need, now, John's got command range of 10, so when they move up. So first of all, moving along this road, and it is a road, for a leader, should be, he says, let's have a double check. Road for a leader is half. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, do we need him any closer? Because, whoops, that's 5. Hindman's there. Oh. 6. Okay, that's fine. That'll put Hinman in command, and therefore Claiborne and all the rest of it. So that's Hardy done. 6, and he didn't exceed his 10, so he's got full capabilities. There's anything I don't need to mark him with that. So yeah, that's fine there for Hardy. Okay, then Bragg. Now we need along the road. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. Moving along the farm lane will be 1. So he's done 3 so far. 4 to there. Now he needs to be for Ruggles and Withers. So it's 4 to there so far. 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got a command range of 6. 9, 10. Which puts him in command range of Withers division and Ruggles. Now let's see. Lead a movement along the road. Command purposes. It's 2 if you go straight through the woods, but it's still 1 on the trail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, they're all in command. So that's Bragg. Polk, we're going to move him up to here with his command. Oh, yeah, I think that's fine, isn't it? Okay, so then that leaves the army commanders themselves. Johnson, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's got a command range of 10. So we need to keep Bragg and Hardy under his command. So he's moved 5 so far. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's fine. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Hardy as well. But that doesn't really allow him to do any of his special abilities. So we move 5, so let's move 6. Then move 7. And what's his special abilities? I hear you saying, you'll find out next turn if I need to use them. Let's still keep Bragg under command control. 1, 2, 3. Yes, it does. Let's move him a bit closer. Oh. Is Bragg still under command control? We can move him just a little bit closer. Leader movement. Even back along the road, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. Back to Bragg along the trails and roads. Okay, that's Johnson. Beauregard, we're going to keep him down here, out of the way. Also able to give issues and keeping Polk under command control. So, let's just move 1 hex there. There we go. And that's the Confederates done with their Corps and Army Commanders. So what can the Union do? Well, not very much, unfortunately, because the only divisional commander here is Prentice. He could move. No, he's divisional. It's Corps and Army. They don't have Corps. It's only the Army. And the Army commander ain't even on the field as yet. So that's them done. And going back on the sequence of play, we've just done the commander movement phase, replacements recovery phase. We haven't replaced any eliminate leaders. Undertaking reserved activities. Well, we haven't really got any activities because there's no fatigue or stragglers yet. Remove commands from reserve status if so desired. We've got quite a few in reserve, but it'll tell us what to do We can't do it by desire. We can only do it by the activation die roll, which is next turn. Combat effectiveness phase. Everyone's still combat effective because no one's taking any real losses. And it's a turn record phase, which means we go up here and we move that little marker to 7 a.m. Boom. We did it. We got through. The first turn, 6 a.m. is done and dusted. So I'm going to tidy up this map board when I finish the video. So let's go back up to up to me. Okay, so as I record this, when you're watching it, it's going to be a completely different date. But as I've mentioned in the previous episode, we're on the 26th of July when this has been recorded, and it's 5 minutes to midnight. I started this so episodes 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. I can't remember now. I've done prior to today, but today I've done. Yeah, I think I've done episode 4 all the way up to now episode 12, and that was about 6 hours of recording, jibber jabber, downloading, making cups of tea. The sustainability of tea, absolutely vital. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. However, that's taken 12 episodes to do. Probably the easiest turn, because it's just, there's been a little bit of hot shots and skirmishes, but nothing cataclysmic. So it's taken 12 episodes, 6 hours, plus the other one, so let's say 8 hours total, actual sort of gameplay, to do one of the easier turns. Have I bitten off more than I can chew? Well, that's down to you guys, really. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I intend to continue playing it through this, but it's up to you to tell me that you're enjoying it. Am I going into too much detail? Am I not going in enough detail enough? I'm bringing the rules as and when they are required. I've just done the Army Commanders movement. That was first explained. So, yeah, there's a lot to go on. It is a complex and busy system. They do like to have exceptions to exceptions in their rules. But I've been playing these games on and off ever since the 3 days of Gettysburg came out. I think it was the 2nd edition, not the 1st edition. And I had played some of the previous SPI. Was it Wilson's Creek? I never played Terrible Swift Sword. I looked at the map and pushed a few counters around at a mate's place. That's my Terrible Swift Sword experience. I did have a few of the other SPI in magazine ones version, one of the rules or whatever they were. But I have played from this set, from the GMT, 3 Days of Gettysburg, the Red Badge of Courage, Gringo. Played quite a lot of Gringo. I never played the Chickamauga. What's that? River of Death. Had it, never played it. And also the one on Stone River. Had it, never played it. The one on the Twin Peaks. Played both battles in that. Thoroughly enjoyed that. That brings us to this one. No, Death Valley. Okay, so I've dabbled with that one. Getting people to play the system face to face has been a little bit tricky. They're all like, "Oh, American Civil War, yeah. Look at the rule book." Same expression I used to get when I used to introduce people to ASL. No. It's a lot for even hardened gamers to get their heads round straight off the bat. However, I thoroughly enjoy it. I love the American Civil War, which is apparently quite unusual for Brits to be even bothered with it. Well, yeah, ever since I had my little Airfix figures, the blue figures and the grey figures. I've been fascinated. So, yeah, that brings us to the end of this turn. So on that rate, it's 12 turns. Just taken 12 videos to do the first turn. So that's a minimum, if I go all the way, of 144 episodes. Minimum. Because I'm trying to keep them to the 20, 25 minutes. I know a few have gone over, but I'm trying to keep it at that. And then once we get into the nitty gritty, it might actually become almost one brigade per video, especially when we've got lots of firing, interaction, maybe assaults. Yeah. But that's what the nature of the beast. Anyway, I'm going to bed. And I'm probably going to go to bed with the bloody rule book and sort of go, spruce up on my, because we're getting close to firing range, so I need to spruce up on the firing rules in detail in relation especially to this terrain. But until next time, play games, have fun, do all the internet stuff, like, subscribe, comments. Again, comments really important. By internet.